In this video, we're going to trace the flow of water from the Montreat Wilderness Watershed down Flat Creek into Swannanoa River, and then heading west as it joins with other tributaries. My name is Dominic Tavernitti. I lived in Black Mountain for 8 years with my family, and I'm spending a little bit of time capturing some of the recovery and lead-up efforts and other things going into Hurricane Helene. Hopefully you find this interesting and informative. Let me flip over to a map here to show you where we are going to focus in this video. So over to the left, you'll see Asheville, that's west of us, then Black Mountain, and we are going to be in Montreat. Specifically, looking at this watershed map, we are going to focus on this area. This is a watershed boundary here. And we're going to be looking at the collection of water coming down through Montreat. And you can see Flat Creek collecting water coming this way. It's important to note that there is another Flat Creek mentioned during the destruction from Hurricane Helene, and that Flat Creek is actually on the other side of the Continental Divide, and there was, I believe, the largest landslide. So if we go over to this side of the Continental Divide, so if you come down Highway 9, here is Flat Creek. And there were massive slides and a lot of loss of life in this area. But just for clarity, we are going to be looking at Flat Creek here in Montreat. So I'm just driving up into Montreat here. There were lots of trees down. Trails are still closed. They're still doing a lot of construction, but roads are open. Amazingly, they've rebuilt a number of bridges. Let me stop it here. I am now north of the Montreat town city limits and up near the Graybeard Trailhead. So not at the headwaters, but a bit higher up in Montreat in this watershed. And that map there shows what I had highlighted on the topographical watershed map. So even at this far, the water was very high. There was erosion events. And in a moment we'll see how all of this sediment, a lot of sediment dropped out. This is a really common sight right now. Again, these videos were taken from October the 19th, so we're 2 weeks after the storm. Pardon, we're 3 weeks after the storm. The storm hit on September the 27th. Apologies. Now we're headed downriver. We're now into Montreat. and over to the left is Lake Susan. And we're going to walk down to it, and then we'll see some aerial video from it shortly. All of these buildings here had water, at least on the first floor, go through. They're being completely gutted at this point. Drywall, baseboards, furniture, they're just piles of material being taken out of all of these buildings. So normally that's a bridge you could walk under. That's where the Flat Creek flows into Lake Susan, and you can see the dunes and sediment there. And where we're looking at now, I believe I zoom in, that is the dam where the water overflows. The dam was not breached. So as the drone flies up here, we are looking south, and we are looking towards the town of Black Mountain. There was an acute need here in Montreat. A lot of houses live on steep slopes. There are lots of trees, so as trees go down, there was a tremendous amount of roads blocked and power lines down and such in this area. There's also a high percentage of retired community here that were in need. So there was among many other places, there was a focus here to get to these individuals that needed medications and relied on power and needed oxygen and other things. Now I'm rotating counterclockwise here, and as I pan up, I'll be looking north straight up that watershed. So you can see the bowl of mountains. And so all of the water collected here in this watershed flowed down through Flat Creek and joined with the Swannanoa River. The Swannanoa River, of course, is the river that Swannanoa is on. They had tremendous devastation there. Of course, all these tributaries and creeks and rivers feed into the Swannanoa River, ultimately going through Biltmore and feeding that direction. Debris has not been taken out yet. Here we're looking at Welch Field. I'm driving south out towards the entrance of Montreat, and you can see this soccer baseball field is being used for some debris collection.
It is
and now we're getting down to Flat Creek Road, and I'm going to flip over and show the map and where we're going here. So we started up at the Graybeard Trailhead, worked our way down. See if we can find. I believe that this is we're not. The resolution's not great. There is Lake Susan there, and we are headed down out of Montreat as we get to Flat Creek Road. Again, it's not, resolution's not catching up, but we are down in this area. And now we're following, continuing to follow Flat Creek down. These houses, they were not overhanging the creek. Of course, they come up and just rip through this area. It's impressive how we are so far upstream before we get to the Swannanoa River and the town of Swannanoa, you can see how the collection of all of this water just continues to add up, and it was significant up here. So it just continues to multiply as we add the watersheds into the Swannanoa River. Now I have already gone to film the North Fork of Swannanoa River that's coming out of the North Fork Reservoir. Okay, so let me pause it here and show where Flat Creek is coming through for those not familiar. If you can see my cursor, this line of trees is where Flat Creek snakes through. I believe this is the, I'm going to get it wrong, Super 8 Motel, but it's a motel just behind Ole Guacamole's, which sits on 70 here. Over here to the right is Black Mountain Primary School. That's where my son goes to school. Now the river was high enough that it jumped the banks here, and you can see sediment left here. It had taken out some of the new fences that had been put in and undercut some of the new track that was put in at the primary school not too long ago. I'm going to pause here in a moment. We'll just get a glimpse of where the river is intended to flow. So this is Ole Guacamole's Mexican restaurant here. Back up just a little bit. We can see over here just to the left in the lower corner of the screen where the river flows here behind Ole Guacamole's and is intended to go underneath the road. And then the river is in these trees here. Well, it was clearly over the top of all of this, all of 70 here. This is whatever rents on the left-hand side. From the river, I believe it's the Swannanoa River headed to east, coming from the Continental Divide this direction. There's yet another watershed I did not explore, but it was high enough to gut the bottom of their building, and they lost all of their small equipment and a lot of their business. Building standing, but the flood filled the bottom half of their building, and they lost a lot. The water came across the road. You can see a car still pinned in here on this telephone pole, and the water came, as it came through here, these storage units, we'll see in a moment, are buckled. This is behind Ole Guacamole's. They get flooding on the creek as it comes up. They're remarkably efficient at cleaning and repairing the restaurant and getting it back in order, but this was significant. I believe they'll be opening their second location down 70 while they're repairing it. I don't have details on it. Take a look at these storage units. So many people, of course, this is safekeeping for the property. And you can see down here how the water came through, just buckled these doors, washed this trailer right into the side of it. I'm going to pause here. We'll get a chance to see it more here in a moment, but these buildings back here, many of them are completely washed off their foundation. This building here was taken off its foundation here and washed into that building, and then most of these buildings back here are completely off of their foundations. You can see a foundation here on the top. This one was moved. Now we're looking at the back of that storage unit. It will be toppled. And then the foundation for this building that got washed over here. And while it held together, it is sitting right up against this other building now. So we see that one. This one's been compromised. This is off the foundation. This one is off its foundation. I believe this one belongs on that foundation there. So now Flat Creek has joined Swannanoa River, and Swannanoa River is going to cross under the railroad tracks. Over here to the right, we'll take a look again. This is Bush Farmhouse. They lost some of their animals, and they've had to gut that restaurant. They are rebuilding. Now we're looking at the old Bilo building that is not currently in use. I believe it's owned by Ingalls. Here's the dog park, the Black Mountain Dog Park. I don't know it's in any worse condition than it normally is. It's always muddy. We can start seeing some vehicles down in there. And before we continue on, I'm going to just pan over and we're looking here at the town of Black Mountain. So we're starting to pan. We're downtown Black Mountain now. This is the rail yard, recently taken over for aid. Now we're looking back. This is the Bush Farmhouse here. Oh, sorry, with the green roof. And then I just rotate to look at the rail yard has been turned into what I believe is going to be a long-term aid station, at least for the foreseeable future, by the Red Truckmen. They've been doing great things. They are consistently serving hot meals. They've turned one of the spaces into a grocery for anybody who needs food. They have music playing, and it's just a great place to gather, and I believe that will be persistent in the months ahead. Okay, now we've jumped ahead and we have moved west. We are over Veterans Park. On the left is Interstate 40. Veterans Park has commonly had flooding challenges. It sits right on the Swannanoa River, but clearly it came over the entire park here and deposited sediment across all of the baseball, soccer fields. Off in the distance, you can see the main Ingalls Distribution Center. It sits, the Swannanoa River runs between Interstate 40 and the distribution center. Now we're coming up on the crossroad that goes underneath Interstate 40, and that's Blue Ridge Road. Flood Gallery is located in this building in the bottom of the screen now, and we can see Blue Ridge Road was completely taken out. I actually live just over to the right, just out of the shot here. So this was Blue Ridge Road was completely cut. I'll show in a second. You can see up here now, this is the section of Blue Ridge Road. It got pushed downstream. Over to the left was a field that is normally used. I'm not sure what the name of the farm is. Of course, they've got a lot of sediment there now. I don't go over Ingalls Distribution Center. There have been, in this emergency situation, there have been a lot of police and security there because they're ensuring the flow of some of the main food supplies in the area outside of donations. So that has been very well protected. And I believe there was damage to their parking lot. You can see how many semi-trucks and bays there are in the back. I believe they've had to do some repair to their parking lot. Now we're flying back east, back up the Swannanoa River to take a look at the crossing of Blue Ridge Road. other videos showing construction and the repairs following this storm from around the Black Mountain and Swannanoa areas. I'll leave some links to those videos here. If you have any specific areas that you would like to see documented or are curious about, just let me know in the comments and I can go out and film. Now, like I said, I have already done most of the filming from the North Fork Reservoir, Burnett Reservoir, headed down and where it connects into Swannanoa, and I've already filmed in Swannanoa itself. Well, thanks so much for watching. Again, if you have any specific questions or areas that you would like to see detailed, please drop me a message. Thanks so much.